Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Ship and Reach. I'll be doing a 2025 book haul video. If you're new to the channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe below as well as hit the notification bell. And if you're new, hi, hello, I'm Stephanie and I do love bookish content. And I have not done a book haul video since almost a year ago at this point. So I have a lot of books so far that I want to discuss and share with you guys. These are the books I've gotten so far in 2025 and maybe some in 2024. I'm not really sure, to be honest. They've just been sitting on my shelves for God knows how long. And I know I was supposed to do a book haul video for a really long time now. So it's finally here now. I'm finally going through it. I have 2 giant stacks and I still have a couple more stacks left to go. So I'm going to try to make this video as not as long, but definitely go grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea or something and cozy in, because it's still going to be a somewhat of a long-ish video. But let's just get right into it. So first book that I want to discuss that I got is The Griffin Sisters Greatest Hit by Jennifer Weiner. This one came out in April 2025. I believe I got this from the publisher. It says the Griffin sisters were the soundtrack of the early 2000s until suddenly they weren't. 2 sisters bonded by music, divided by fame, silenced by tragedy. Now, 20 years later, a new generation will try to reunite them. Can the love between sisters survive the secrets that remain? Definitely curious about this one. Next book I got is actually one that I already read because I had the audiobook for it, and that is Needy Little Things by Chanel Desamores. This one essentially is a YA thriller. I just read it recently, so I kind of remember what it's about, but it follows a girl who can hear what people need. So she'll walk around and she'll hear someone needs a pencil or a magnet or food or whatever it is, and she will try to help them. So she carried around a bag of things that people need, common things that people needed. One day though, one of her best friends disappeared, and now she's trying to figure out what's going on, especially because before she disappeared, she had this inkling that her friend needed pepper spray. So she already was on high alert because of that, and yet somehow her friend still disappeared. And now she's having flashbacks of another time when someone had disappeared, a close friend of her has disappeared. And now she's trying to figure out what is going on. Is she the common denominator between these 2 disappearances? And what's happening? What's going to happen? How can she save her friend? I actually really enjoyed this book. The ending was a bit of a surprise to me because I didn't expect it. Definitely worth a read. I had also gotten that from the publisher. Next book I have is Immortal by Sue Lynn Tan. This is the Fairy Loot edition. It is stunning. Look how beautiful this book is. It says, what the gods did not give us, I would take. And it follows Li Yan, where she ascends the throne of Tianxia, and she vows to end her kingdom's obligation to the fickle immortals who once protected them. And she ends up forging a tenuous alliance with the one she should fear and mistrust the most, the ruthless god of war. I don't know, I just watched this Chinese drama with the god of war, and I'm kind of obsessed with that, so definitely excited about this one. Next book I have is The Incandescent by Emily Tesh. This is this just comes out this month, May 2025, and I got this from the publishers. It's supposed to be a sapphic dark academia fantasy with Naomi Novik's Sholoman series. Interesting. It follows a Dr. Walden, who's the director of magic at Chetwood School and one of the most powerful magicians in England. Her days consist of meetings, teaching A-level invocation to 4 talented chaotic 6th formers, more meetings, and securing the school's boundaries from demonic incursion. Walden is great at her job, but demons are masters of manipulation. It's her responsibility to keep her school with its 600 students and centuries-old legacy safe, and it's possible that she most needs to keep her school safe from is herself. Very curious about this one. Then I have Idlefire by Grace Curtis. This one I believe is from Goldsboro. It's also signed by the author. I love the cover, by the way. Look at the inside, stunning. Oh, and the sides too. The edges are spade and it's so pretty. Okay. It says, on one side of the world, Alea Anya Ulai is desperate for a chance. Her family have written her off as a mistake, but she's determined to prove every last one of them wrong. On the other, Kirby of Wall's End is searching for redemption. An ancient curse tore her life apart, and to break it, she'll have to leave everything behind. There's also Power of 1,000 Stolen Gods and Old Magic Slumbers. It's supposed to be an epic sapphic fantasy road trip. Very curious about this one. Have not heard much about this at all. Next book I have on here is A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. This book I got from Fairy Loot as well. This is stunning. Gorgeous. It says over here it's set in 1923 in London, where there are dragons, of course. They soar through the skies and protests erupt on the streets, but Vivian Featherswallow isn't worried. She's going to follow the rules and get an internship studying dragon language. By midnight, somehow she had started a civil war. Very curious. Apparently she's been recruited to uncover the secrets of a hidden dragon language. If she succeeds, she and her family can all go home again. If she doesn't, they all die. Curious, very curious about this one. I love the edges too. Then I have The Bloodless Prince by Charlotte Bond. I got this from the publisher, and it's a small little book. Came out in October 2024, so yeah, I do have some 24 books in here apparently. It's supposed to be Orpheus meets a natural history of dragons and a tale of death, honor, and true love's embrace. I also have Daughter of Fire by Sophia Robleda. This one I believe came from the publisher because I don't recognize this one. It says to honor her past, she must remember it, rewrite it, survive it, and make it live again. And it's set in 1551 Guatemala. And it's supposed to be 30 years since this Spanish invasion. So it's about like Spanish hierarchy. It follows a woman who's trying to be independent. Haven't heard too much about this book though. Then I have Air by Sabaa Tahir. This one also came from the publisher. This one came out in October 2024. It's supposed to be a fantasy, and it's supposed to be a duology too. It's supposed to be the burdens of power, the treachery of love, and the devastating consequence of unchecked greed. Kind of sounds familiar to these, don't you think so? Then I have The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. This one I believe I got from Goldsboro as well. Look at the edges and the inside. Stunning. Stunning. It's supposed to be a fantasy retelling of Mulan, perfect for fans of Poppy War and Six Crimson Cranes. Honestly, I'm already excited about that because I love all those books. All right, I need to move a little faster because I've realized it's already been like 10 minutes and I've barely made a dent. So next book, Among Thieves by MJ Kuhn. This book I also got from the publisher, and all I know is something to do with fantasies about assassins and how there are powerful adepts where they have these abilities, like magical abilities. Very curious about this one. It kind of gives me a Throne of Glass vibe. Then I have 1,000 Times Before by Asha Thanki. This book I got from Book of the Month. I got this in July. What the heck? This is an old ass book that I have in my shelves. I don't think I actually got this in July. Sometimes I like batch order them. Anyways, supposed to be 3 generations of women connected by fantastic tapestry through which they inherit the experience of those who lived before them. And it's supposed to be from partition era India to modern day Brooklyn. I've heard good things about this book. Then I have The Seventh Veil of Salome by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This one I also got from Book of the Month. It says a young woman wins the role of a lifetime in a film about legendary heroine, but the real drama's behind the scenes in this sumptuous historic epic. And it's from the author of Mexican Gothic. Then I have Hera by Jennifer Saint. I only got this one because, well, I got this in Book of the Month, but I love my Greek mythology, so obviously I was very excited about this one. It says even the gods must have their queen, and obviously it follows Hera and her brother Zeus, but they're also married. So they're trying to establish their reign on Mount Olympus, and she sees that Zeus is just as ruthless and cruel as the father they betrayed. Very curious, but I love Greek mythology. Then I have The Palace of Arrows by Carol D. Roberts. I got this from Goldsboro. Look at the edges and the inside. Stunning as per usual. This one says, oh, this one's also Greek mythology. It follows Psyche, who has captured the eye of every suitor with her beauty, but also the unfortunate, jealous gaze of the goddess Aphrodite. Now she's tied to a rock to be sacrificed to a monstrous husband as punishment. However, she ends up being spirited away by Aphrodite's daughter, Eros. Very curious. It's supposed to be the retelling, obviously, of Psyche and Eros. Then I have The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune. This one I also got from the publisher. I have no idea what this book is about. It's set in 1995. It follows Nate Cartwright, who has lost everything. His parents are dead, and his only brother wants nothing to do with him, and he's been fired from his job as a journalist in DC. He ends up returning to his family's summer cabin, and the cabin should be empty, but it's not. Inside is a man named Alex, and with him, extraordinary 10-year-old girl calls herself Artemis Darth Vader. But Artemis isn't exactly as she appears. Apparently the girl is special. I don't know, special how, but I really like his book, so I'm very excited about this one. Then I have Long Live Evil by Sarah Reese Brennan. This one is books. I got this from the publisher. It's supposed to be a tale for anyone who's ever fallen for the villain. Honestly, I'm actually really excited about this one. It sounds really good. Then I have The Curse by Harper L. Woods. I also got this from the publisher, and it says light trickled in the window at the edge of the room. So this is book 2. It's supposed to be a dark academia and romantasy book, and its first one is The Coven, which I don't have, so I need to get that book first. But there's like vampires and witches in here, so very excited about this one. Next one I have is Breath of the Dragon by Shannon Lee and Fonda Lee. This one I think I got from the publisher as well. Yep, I have the little slip here. It's supposed to be a epic martial arts journey, and a young warrior dreams of proving his worth in the Elite Guardian tournament, fighting not only for himself but the fate of everything he loves. This cover is also really pretty. Then I have The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean. This one is from Illumicrate. Gorgeous cover. Stunning. Stunning. Wow, that's really pretty. Obviously there's phoenixes in here if you can't tell. It's about a head phoenix keeper at a world-renowned zoo for magical creatures. Wait, that's actually so interesting. I'm actually really curious about this book. Magical zoo, sign me up. Then I have Hamajunk Luck by Makana Yamamoto. This one I got from Illumicrate as well. I love the cover. It's actually really, really cool. And the inside, gorgeous. It's supposed to be Ocean's 8 meets Blade Runner in a trailblazing debut sci-fi novel, and a swashbuckling love letter to Hawaii about being forced to find a new home and striving to build a better one. I haven't heard much about this book, but I'm really excited for it. Next I have is Us in Ruins by Rachel Moore. This one I actually bought, like pre-ordered this a while ago. It says mythical vase of Venus Aurelia hasn't been seen since 1932, but Margot Rhodes is determined to change that. She embarks on a school's archaeological trip to Pompeii, but she has something no one else does: a lost teenage explorer, Van Keen's journal. She finds herself falling in love with the boy who wrote them a century ago, and she's shocked when her search leads her to a statue that looks exactly like Van, and then the statue comes to life. Interesting. It's like a romance with a statue. Very curious to see how this book will play out. Then I have The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. This book I got from Fairy Loot, so of course it is stunning. Gorgeous. It is set in Phantom, a kingdom of cobbled streets. Shade magic is a scarce and deadly commodity controlled by two enemy guilds, the Cloaks and the Daggers, the Thieves and the Assassins. 18-year-old Seraphine, on the night of her mother's murder, runs for her life. She's seeking sanctuary with the Cloaks because her heart is set on revenge, but are her secret abilities a match for the dark-haired boy whose quicksilver eyes follow her around the city? Then she comes face to face with Ransom, heir to the Order of Daggers, and he is shocked to discover that this unassuming farm girl wields a strange and blazing magic he has never seen before. Enemies to lovers romantasy. Love that. Next I have is The Last Hour Between Worlds by Melissa Caruso. This book is from Illumicrate, so of course it is stunning as per usual. Wow, I love that. It's so pretty. Okay, this one says, a star investigator and her rival journey through layers of reality to save the world as they know it in this wit, smart adventure fantasy. Full of reality-bending magic, sapphic romance, and tantalizing mystery. Next I have The Book of Gold by Ruth Francis Long. I got this from Goldsboro. The edges are pretty. Ooh, look at that inside. So this one says, there's only one thing notorious thief Lida loves more than a big score, and that's her little brother Kit. But when Kit is arrested for producing seditious pamphlets, he stands to lose not only his printing press, but possibly his life. In exchange for her brother's freedom, Lida strikes a daring bargain with the king. She will steal the infamous Book of Gold, a mysterious manuscript reputed to be hiding vast magical power within. Interesting. And also apparently the return of handsome and brooding Captain Sylvian Chant, once her lover and partner in crime. Very curious about this one. Next I have The Gods Below by Andrea Stewart. I got this from Fairy Loot. Ooh, I love the inside. So this one says it's supposed to be an epic fantasy where two sisters find themselves on opposite sides of a war against gods. Then I have Hexed by Emily McIntyre. This one I got from the publisher, and all I know is that I want to say this is part of the Never After series right here with Hooked, Scarred, Wretched, Twisted, and Crossed. I think I've only read Hooked before and I had never read the rest, so we'll see how this one goes. But I really like this cover. Then I have The Wildest Things by Andrea Hanna. This one I got from the publisher. This came out in February 2025. It's supposed to be a sapphic Snow White retelling where Snow White is to save her kingdom. She'll have to kill the evil queen's daughter if she doesn't fall in love with her first. Very exciting. Next I have A Dark and Drowning Tide by Allison Saft. This one I got from Illumicrate, so it is gorgeous. Dragons in here. It says Lorelei Caskell, a folklorist with a quick temper and an even quicker wit, is on an expedition with 6 eccentric nobles in the search of a mythical spring of untold power. The king wants to harness the fabled water source from which magic flows to secure his reign, and Lorelei is determined to prove herself and make her dream come true, to become a naturalist able to travel freely to faraway lands. Where's the dragon in here? So apparently like they go into the forest and there's dangers lurking in there where there are shape-shifting beasts. So maybe like that's what this is. I don't know, but I'm very curious. Next I have Wooing the Witch Queen by Stephanie Burgess. I got this from the publisher and this one came out in February 2025. It's supposed to be a fun, delightful, and seductive romantasy. And it's the first in the series where there's hags and ogres, 3 magical queens, and a wicked sorceress with a nerdy wizard working together in a magical library. Wait, I'm actually kind of excited about that one. That sounds so good. Then we have Until We Shatter by Kate Dillon. This one I got from Illumicrate, so beautiful edges. Insides, of course. This one says it's supposed to be an epic heist fantasy, perfect for fans of Six of Crows, Master of One, and Bonecryer's Dawn. Interesting. Next book I have is Royal Heirs Academy. I got this from the publisher and it's supposed to come out. It came out in January 2025. It's supposed to be Princess Diaries meets Succession in a contemporary YA set in school for the global elite where 4 teens compete to inherit a European kingdom. It's giving me like what's that like Royal Kingdom book? I don't remember the name of that book, but it's giving me that vibe. I'll put a picture here because I know what I'm talking about. I have it in my head. Then this next book I have is Tales of a Monstrous Heart by Jennifer Delaney. This book I got from Goldsboro. It's actually really interesting. It's like trying to get out within the pages. Stunning. It says, I was a being with a monstrous heart, so now I show them just how monstrous I could be. Very curious. But there's fae in here and there's obviously magic and monsters. I'm actually pretty excited about this book. Then I have Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enright. This one I got from Illumicrate. Honestly, like Illumicrate and FairyLoot always, you know, have amazing books. This one's supposed to be a seductive romantasy debut of a villainous, bloodthirsty heroine who finds herself plunged into the dangerous world of power, politics, and the murder in the court of the Eternal King. I'm assuming this guy is the Eternal King here. I love my romantasies. Next book I have is actually one that I've been trying to read for a long time now, and that is The Will of the Many by James Islington. It is a chunky book though, so I've just been kind of intimidated by it. So this one's set in elite Catelyn Academy. A young fugitive uncovers layered mysteries in a new fantasy series. I've just heard so many good things about this book. Like I really need to read this book, to be honest. Like I've heard so many things. Oh, and then I have another copy of Long Live Dead by, this is the FairyLoot edition. No wonder that book sounded so familiar because I have an extra copy of it. Okay, well anyways, this is the FairyLoot edition. So let's show you guys how beautiful it is. Stunning as per usual. All right, I think I'm like halfway through. Slightly under halfway through, so let's power through because I gotta go somewhere in like 30 minutes. Anyways, next we have is Death of the Author by Nandi Okorafor. I'm definitely butchering that name. I got this from Goldsboro, but so look at how beautiful this edition is. So pretty. This one is supposed to be a sweeping tale about family, culture, and identity, and an ambitious meta drama about what makes us human. Next one I have is Capitana by Cassandra James. I got this one from Illumicrate, so the edges are stunning. In the insides, I love how the map is there. Okay, so this one is supposed to be justice will be served to pirates and their sympathizers. So there's pirates. Follows a woman called Ximena Rio, who spends her life trained to become one of the Black Cloak Cazadores, seafaring hunters who captures the pirates pillaging the Luzon Empire. Very interesting. Also, this guy looks hot as hell. What the heck? Next I have is Cruel is the Light by Sophie Clark. This one is from Fairy Loot. I love the edges. It's giving me like zodiac vibes for some reason, like stars, constellations. It's supposed to be about a brutal war between demons and humanity, where it has raged across Europe for over a century, and it follows two elite soldiers, Celine as well as Jules. So it's kind of giving me like enemies to lovers. Then I have The Rose Bargain by Shasha Payton Smith. I got this one in Fairy Loot. It's so pinkish, like the edges giving me like Alice in Wonderland vibes. Okay, even the dress looks like Alice in Wonderland. Okay, this one says set in 1848 in England, where it follows the season is officially open and high society girls line up to bargain with the immortal Queen Morin for qualities that win them suitors. A perfect smile for the loss of a finger, an exquisite talent for piano in exchange for one's happiest childhood memory. What the heck? These are some crazy bargains. Yeah, I'm very curious about this. Oh, there's fays in here. Okay, that makes a lot of sense now. But yeah, super pretty cover. Then I have The Coven Tendency by Zoe Hannah Mikuta. This one I got from the publisher, and it's supposed to be unrelenting fantasy about young witches dangling on the edge of love and obsession, of magic and magus, of life and death. And death and death and death. Definitely a lot of necromancy in here. Witches, magic. Very interesting. Then I have Worth Fighting For by Jessie Q Sutanto. This one is from the publisher, and this one comes out in June 2025. It says Mulan's ready to get down to business, but when it comes to love, she hasn't got a clue. Wait, this person's called Mulan? What the heck? Oh my god, I think it's a retelling of Mulan. Because it also follows someone called Shang, who's supposed to be a really hot CEO. Wait, I'm actually really curious about this one. Wait, that makes so much sense with the title now. Worth Fighting For. Oh my god, I'm so slow in the uptake. All right, well, I'm excited for this one. Next I have is a dupe, actually, because I already have like 2 copies of this, I swear. That's called Voyage of the Damned by Frances White, and this is the Goldsboro edition. It says 12 magical blessings, 12 days at sea, 1 chance to stop a killer and save the world. Then I got a series from the publishers, Little Thieves as well as Painted Thieves. I have the first one already. I did not have the second one. I think they were giving them both out as a publicity thing for the second book, which I believe is also the last book in the series. Is a duology. Next book I have is A Dragon of Black Glass by James Rollins. This is what I got from the publisher. This is the book 3, which I don't even have books 1 and books 2, so but this is part of the Moonfall series. I'm not going to go into it because obviously I don't really know the first 2 books, but it's definitely some sort of fantasy thriller. Yeah, because there's definitely some gifts in here. Next book I have is Eat the Ones You Love by Sarah Mariah Griffin. This one also came from the publisher. This one says, do you mind me asking what kind of help do you need? Where it follows a woman called Shell Pine who loses her job and her fiance and moving back from the city to live with her parents. She needs some help. She ends up getting a gig at the florist, and the flowers she works are just the thing she needs to cheer her up. Or maybe it's Nevi, the beautiful shop manager who is making her days so rosy. But Nevi's secrets are as dark and dangerous as they come. Interesting. Okay, so he's like, he looks a lot creepier than he really is. I don't know, but he's giving me some bad vibes. All right, then I have The Executioners 3 by Susan Dennard. This one came from the publisher, and this one is out in August 2025. It's supposed to be a mystery filled with rivalry, romance, best friends, and a gruesome curse that dates back centuries. I do like her books. Next book I have is The Prince Without Sorrow by Maithri Wijeskara. I am definitely butchering that name. I got this from a Lumicrate, so beautiful cover as per usual. I love that. This one is supposed to be a prince born into violence, a witch seeking revenge, and a curse that will change the world. It's supposed to be inspired by Mauryan Empire of ancient India, and it's the first book in the Obsidian Throne trilogy. Next up I have Necrobane by Daniel M. Ford. This one came from the publisher, and I think this already came out, but it says hundreds of skeletons, 1 necromancer, no wine in sight. It's supposed to be a fantasy. It follows a brilliant mercenary. Actually, no. It follows a warden who's falling in love with a brilliant mercenary, a half-orc friend, and a dwarven merchant. And she unearthed this source of immense necromantic power. I literally have never heard this book before, but This sounds interesting. Then I have Where Shadows Meet by Patrice Caldwell. This one I got from Fairy Loot. Love the edges. The inside. Wow, that's really pretty. I love how this is like so bright compared to like the rest of the cover where it's like dark and red. This one is about a girl named Fari who sacrificed her wings for love. Thena, the young goddess she so willingly gave them for, sacrificed that same love for power, but everything has a cost. 1,000 years later, Layla, the crown prince of a vampire nation, must travel to Nikros, the island of the dead, where her best friend is captured. Okay, I'm like really curious to see like how these two timelines will cross, but love the inside. Next up I have is Daughter of Chaos by A.S. Webb. This one is from Goldsboro. Beautiful, beautiful. It says it will be her destiny to hunt the gods, and it follows Greece, ancient Greece. The 12 gods demand the ultimate tribute: food, treasure, and even human sacrifice. It follows a woman called Danae, a fisherman's daughter, eats a mysterious golden apple, and suddenly her life unravels and a strange and dangerous fate unfolds before her. Okay, and there's Hercules in here. All right, I'm obsessed. I already love my Greek mythology, as you guys all know. Next up I have is The House of Frost and Feathers by Lauren Weiserborn. This is also from Goldsboro. Love the edges. Beautiful inside. Supposed to be a retelling of classic Slavic Baba Yaga. I do love my Baba Yaga retellings, to be honest. They're actually really good. Then I have this book, Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I bought this book because I've heard so many good things about it. Like, everyone's obsessed about it. It says Phantasma only has 2 rules: stay alive and don't fall in love. Ophelia discovers her mother brutally murdered. There's no time to grieve. She has inherited the family's fearsome magic and enormous debts. Her sister decides to pay off the loan by entering Phantasma, a competition where contestants rarely escape alive and the victor is granted a single wish. The only way for Ophelia to save her sister is to win. But Phantasma is a cursed manor, full of twisting corridors and lavish ballrooms, staffed by enticing demons and fatal temptations. And she must conquer all 9 floors to succeed, if her fears don't overtake her first. Then a charming, arrogant stranger claims he can help, but Ophelia knows better than to trust him. But at the same time, she can't afford to turn him away. I've heard good things about this book. Next one I have is High Voltage by Chris Sugden and Jen Sugden. This one I got from Goldsboro. Edges. The inside. This one is set in London in 1887. Okay, so supposed to be set in the greatest and most chaotic city in history. And it's supposed to be twisty, inventive, and joyously funny. I just see something about kidnaps and the country's first private detective agency and bank robberies. Interesting. This is definitely not the type of book I usually go for, but at the same time it sounds like a lot of fun. Then I have A Feather So Black by Lyra Celine. This one I got from Fairy Loot. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. This will be a sizzling fantasy romance set in the world of perilous magic and moonlit forests, spinning a seductive tale of a changeling princess, her cursed sister, and the dangerous Fae Lord she must defeat to save her family. I'm ready here for this. I love my Fae. Alright, so I guess I was wrong because I just got this book, which is Holy Terrors by Margaret Owen. I guess they were doing a promo for this book actually, so they gave me the other 2 books. It is not a duology, it is a trilogy. Clearly I have not read the series or know much about the series. Okay, so this is the final book, so it's a trilogy. But yeah, I don't really know much about the series because I have not read it before. All right, then I have this book, which is definitely not my usual book, but I got this from a publisher, and that says You and Me and the Sand of Lost Things by Andy Griffiths, illustrated by Bill Hope. So there's definitely some sort of illustration in here. Interesting. Definitely gives me like middle grade books. All I know is about an adventure of something. Definitely not my type of book. Next one I have is When Javi Dumped Mari by Mia Sosa. This one came from the publisher, and this one comes out on June 24, 2025. It says it's a flirty rom-com about pact between friends that goes awry when one of them suddenly decides to get married. The cover is so cute. Then I have The Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Emily Wen Zhao. This one I got from Fairy Loot. So it is of course beautiful. Dude, that is so pretty. Oh my god, they really went all out with this one. This one says, the immortality trials offer a second chance in a brutal world and are open to any mortal willing to risk the journey to the immortal realm. The prize for completing them is eternal life. However, first they must survive. Dude, this guy looks so hot. What the heck? Next one I have is Hangry Hearts by Jennifer Chen, and this one is from the publisher. It's supposed to be a Romeo and Juliet inspired romance. But I love this cover. It looks so cute. Next book I have, or next three I have, are from Book of the Month, and that is A Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. It's supposed to be a wandering fortune teller finds an unexpected family in this warm and wonderful debut fantasy. I don't know, but this cover is giving me like all the Studio Ghibli vibes, to be honest. Then I have Babylonia by Costanza Casati. This one is also from Book of the Month. I do think I have a copy of this from ALA from last year, but I forgot I got a copy, so I bought one myself. This is what happens when you have like too many books and you don't keep track. This one says, a common woman, the governor she married, the king who loved them both. Welcome to the empire of gods and men and the one queen destined to rule them all. Then I got The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. This one is book 1 in the Ashen series, also from Book of the Month, but I really like this cover. It's supposed to be a Viking-inspired romantic fantasy. A woman fleeing a ruthless assassin accidentally joins forces with a group of mercenaries and must take all her cunning to escape with her life and her heart intact. Next book I have is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. This one is from Fairy Loot. Lovely. This one is supposed to be obviously romance in here. Oh my god, the back looks so intense. That guy looks like he's half dead. But there's definitely gods in here, heretics, magic, visions, people with visions. Oh, this woman's a diviner. So she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as omens. Love this. Next book I have is The Floating World by Axie O. This one I got from Fairy Loot. Love the cover. Oh my god, this book is giving me like all the whimsical fantasy vibes. This one says, it follows ex-soldier Sun Ho, who lives in the underworld, a land of perpetual darkness. Possessing just his name and sword, he comes across the score of a lifetime, a chest of coins for hunting down the girl who wields silver light. Then it follows Ren, who's a spirited acrobat traveling with her family, but everything changes when they're attacked by a demon. Desperate, she releases a blast of silver light and kills the monster, but cannot save her beloved uncle from grievous injury. Determined to save him from succumbing to the poison wound, Ren sets off for the mountains, where the creature came from, and which happens to be where Ren herself fled from 10 years ago. Her path collides with Sun Ho, but he doesn't realize who she is. As the two grow closer, it becomes clear their path and destinies are more entwined than they could possibly have imagined. Next one I have is You and Me on Repeat by Mary Shine. This one came from the publisher. It is a graphic novel. Next book I have is This Monster of Mine by Shalini Abisekara. Definitely butchering that name. This one is from Fairy Loot. Get the cover. Love that. This one says, she knows the taste of death. He'll stoke her hunger for it. He'll stoke her hunger for it. Definitely some sort of fantasy book for sure. Then I have Advocate by Daniel M. Ford. This one is book 3 in the Warden series. I don't have the first 2 books, so love that for myself. But this came from the publishers. I have no idea what the book is about because this is the 3rd book. I don't really want to read the synopsis because it will spoil a lot of stuff from the first book. Wait, Necrobane. That's book 2. But I don't have book 1. So regardless, I don't have enough to tell you guys. Alright, then I have Spellbound by Georgia Layton. This one is from Goldsboro. So pretty. And this one says it's supposed to be an atmospheric feminist retelling of a classic fairy tale that asks, what if beauty never went to sleep? Okay, very curious about that. Next book I have is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hogston. The book is fucking thick. This one is from Illumicrate. So it is stunning as always. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This is book 1 in series. It says, after 24 years on the throne, it is time for Bursan the Brusque, Emperor of Oran, to bring his reign to an end. In the dizzying heat of midsummer, 7 contenders will compete to replace him. Trained as rebel monasteries, each contender is inspired by a sacred animal: fox, raven, tiger, ox, bear, monkey, and hound. An 8th, the dragon proxy, will be revealed once the trials have begun. 8 exceptional warriors, thinkers, strategists, the best of the best. Then one of them is murder. Okay, this sounds really fucking good actually. And the last and final book, guys, we are finally done, is Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. This one is from FairyLoot. The insides, gorgeous. And this one, it says, when there's a will, there's a war. Thayer Wren, a brilliant CEO of Renfield Magatech, is dead. As the so-called father of modern technology, he leaves an incredible legacy, and any of his 3 telepathically and electrokinetically gifted children could possibly inherit the Renfair throne, or so they like to think. So now we're wondering which Wren will come out on top. Dude, I don't know why this third girl, she kind of looks like Jenny from Blackpink. Like, I swear to God, she looks like Jenny, but like slightly tanner or something. Anyways, looks so fucking good. So yeah, those are all the books I've gotten the past half year, more than half a year. A lot of books, obviously. I'm trying to like organize my shelf as I am going through this at the same time. So I am fucking tired, and I am also sweating from how hot it is. It's unbelievably hot right now. But I do have to head out soon, so I'm going to end the video here. But let me know if you have read any of these books before. If you have, what you guys think about them. Which one should I pick up first based off of these books I've gotten recently? But as always, if you like the video, please do give me a thumbs up. It really help on my channel. And to see more content of me, please don't hesitate to click down below, as well as the notification bell. And as always, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!